Welcome to Stoner Watch. This is my open spoiler discussion for Star Wars The Bad Batch. So if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so that you can notify for future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, after watching Bad Batch Episode 15, Finale Part 1, Return to Camino, man, I gotta say this episode was just awesome. Just awesome. Now, we did get that announcement on Thursday confirming Bad Batch Season 2 in 2022. Now, they didn't have a release date with this announcement, just we're going to get a Season 2 and enjoy this two-part season finale. And so far, the first half was just phenomenal. But just getting this announcement about Season 2 tells me that they've been playing this the whole entire time, because it usually takes about a year or two or like that to produce one of these shows, right? Because they got to do the voiceovers and they do all the animation. So we know this takes time. So they've been playing this all along. Kind of makes you wonder though, what if we didn't like this show, right? Would we have gotten this announcement on a Season 2 if this thing was not getting any ratings whatsoever? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I mean, we've got a lot of Star Wars coming to Disney Plus here within the next year or so, right? I mean, we got the Book of Boba Fett that's dropping later on this year in December, and then we got Star Wars Vision, we've got Andor coming, we've got the Obi-Wan series coming, and not to mention we've got Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim at the end of May of next year. Man, I am so looking forward to that trip. I mean, I've never been to California, so I'm just so looking forward to going to Celebration again. I mean, after like 2017's in Orlando, I've been so looking forward to going back to that thing, man. I had so much fun. How about you? Are you going to Star Wars Celebration in 2022? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, just like we thought, Crosshair did use Hunter to bait the Bad Batch, lures him all the way back to Camino, but they didn't bring anybody with him. No Rex, no Gregor. I mean, what the hell happened to Gregor, right? I mean, did they drop him off somewhere, or did they get all the way back to Ormanto? And he's like, hey, it was great that Hunter got captured saving my butt, but I got a thing to do with that thing, and I gotta go. I can't help you, man. I gotta go. I mean, right? Or did he go to the bathroom and he comes out of the bathroom and they're already gone? I mean, that part didn't make much sense to me, because I'm like, where did he go? I mean, and they didn't even mention that he went somewhere, right? I mean, they did mention the fact that Sid was kind of pissed that, they didn't finish the job that they went out to go do and everything. But other than that, they didn't really say anything. Like, where that, hey, Gregor went to go meet up with Rex. They didn't mention him at all this episode, which I thought that was kind of weird. Didn't take me out of it, but I did thought that was kind of weird. Now, something else I thought was kind of interesting. When they arrived at Camino, there was 3 Star Destroyers in orbit. So while they were flying towards the planet, nobody was asking for clearance codes. I mean, they want to know about clearance codes at the beginning of this series when they arrived at Camino, but nobody cares about clearance codes right now. I mean, the Empire is trying to clear this place out, and nobody cares about clearance codes. I thought that was kind of strange. How about you? What do you think about that in the comments down below? Now, I can't say it enough on how much I really like this show, because even though we're the second from last episode of this season, we're still learning new stuff about our characters, because we find out Omega knew about the secret entrance into the city. When they arrived at Camino and they went to go in for a landing, they landed on a secret platform that nobody knew about, and you had to go really down close to the water in order to trigger the platform to come up. But I have to say, that platform didn't really come that high out of the water, so luckily there wasn't a really big wave. And I liked how they really showed that this bothered Omega by coming here, even though that she knew that she had to in order to save Hunter. They showed that too, where you could see the look on her face that this was really bothering her, that she was actually back on Camino. And when Echo asked her about it, she's like, don't worry about it, it doesn't really matter, because we're here to help Hunter, and that's all that matters right now. Kind of goes along with that, what she said in that episode for Rescue on Ryloth, right? When Hunter was like, I don't know about this, and she's like, I would do it for you, and she's doing it. Right? So I kind of brought that back into this, even though nobody else really has mentioned it in all the breakdown videos I've watched on this so far. But I thought that was really cool that they showed that. You know what I mean? And another out of the many things about this episode I thought was very interesting, that we find out that Omega and the Bad Batch were created in the same secret lab. She says she was there with them until they were moved to be with the rest of the clones. Now that kind of feeds into what Cut LaQuay said in episode 2, that the Cambodians don't create without a purpose. So I kind of wonder, what was the purpose in creating the Bad Batch? What was the purpose in creating Omega? Now, knowing that we're going to get a season 2, do you think maybe they'll actually do a deeper dive into that? And will we find out there were other experimental clones that were there too? They just didn't make it, right? I mean, kind of makes you wonder. And of course, I have to talk about Crosshair and his big reveal, how he no longer has his inhibitor chip and hasn't had it for quite some time. Now, he wouldn't really say exactly when it was taken out, but I suspect it was like shortly after his little incident with the Star Destroyer engine blast to the face in episode 8. I think that's when they probably took it out, even though he wasn't going to say that's when it happened. But I imagine they had to do some kind of surgery or something on him after that stuff, because that was the fact that he actually survived that at all is kind of amazing. And in his exchange exchange with Hunter in the training room, we find out that he felt like he was left behind, like he was never given a chance to prove himself. Because then Hunter said, well, you tried to kill us. You didn't really give us a choice. He said, did I have really? Because then that goes back to when Wrecker's inhibitor chip went off and he just pretty much was doing exactly, trying to follow orders of what the chip was trying to tell him to do, and he couldn't stop himself. So he was basically saying, that's pretty much what was happening to me, and you left me. And then when they did capture Hunter, this is when he was going to save a clone that he didn't even know. So you can only imagine what Crosshair was thinking, why is this guy risking his life to save somebody who he didn't even know, and he left me behind? So I thought that was a really powerful scene, and I didn't really think about it that way until actually he brought it up, to be quite honest with you. But then he goes and he pulls his Darth Vader, hey, come join me in the Empire moment, and they're sitting staring each other down, and like Hunter already has his blaster drawn, and you like, I don't care how good of a shot Crosshair is, there was just no way he was going to get a shot fired off and it was going to make a difference. I mean, Hunter already had him pretty much dead to rights with his blaster pistol, and there's just no way. Now, Hunter does end up stunning him, and they end up taking him with them when they go to try to escape from Camino. Now, this is when it gets really nuts. Rampart gets the order from Tarkin to fire when ready. That was really cool to hear that line, and they just started bombarding everything that's within the cloning facility. But before they do, we got all them quiet shots of like the cloning facility and the cafeteria, and they're all empty and there's nobody there. It's kind of like, this is the last time you're going to see this city in this nice looking condition, because after this is it. And then they just start firing down, and they're just raining down destruction on top of the Bad Batch. Now they end up running back inside, and this is where the episode ends, and we'll pick it up next week in episode 16. I cannot wait to see how they end this thing. I'm kind of wondering how they're going to get out of this situation. Will Rex come in and help save him at the last moment in this episode? Or somebody actually brought up, would Gonki actually take control of the ship and fly it over so they can actually escape? So I don't know what's going to happen next. This episode was so damn awesome. We got a lot of reveals in this. I mean, it was just amazing. So I don't know, man. Did you watch episode 15 of the Bad Batch finale part 1? Let me know in the comments down below. Where does this one rank with you with all the other episodes we got so far? And how geeked are you to know that we are going to get a season 2? It's been confirmed now. We know we're going to get it. We just don't know when it's going to drop. Probably won't be until like sometime in the fall, I'm thinking, maybe. So I don't know, man. I really love this show. I really do. So let me know what you think in the comments down below.